GDKP promotes gold buying. Gold buying promotes botting. Botting just pumps so much gold into the economy. That causes the economy to get messed up. It's the botting. With the recent ban of GDKPs coming to Phase 2 Season of Discovery, I wanted to talk about the pros and cons of GDKP. There's a lot of debate. There's people who love GDKP and there's people who demonize it. This is going to be a talking video, so sit back, relax, and you can also enjoy the hubbub of the going-ons in Stormwind here on Whitemane Classic Era, and you're going to see in the background there's people forming GDKPs. So it's very apropos. I don't even know what does that mean, apropos. Anyways, let's get into it. The pros and cons of GDKPs. As someone who has 5 characters that are nearly full BIS, they're all tier 3, they've all done Nax, some are 99% BIS, some are like 90% BIS. How did I get all that gear, you might ask? Well, the majority of it is from SR raids, Loot Council raids, DKP raids. Yeah, DKP, not GDKP. I've only ever acquired a couple of pieces from GDKP. I actually don't like spending gold. I'm a saver. So yeah, I've been on both sides of it. I've done GDKPs. In fact, I run GDKPs, a couple, but mostly I do SR and Loot Council raids, but I do some GDKPs on the side to survive in the economy. And we'll talk about the economy and the role that GDKP has in it. By the way, I've actually never bought gold or anything like that. I have a decent amount of gold. I'm like middle class. There are people who with multiple gold cap tunes. Yeah, I've got gold cap, but that's just from playing for 4 years. And even though I have a lot of gold, I farm the vast majority of my own consumes. So I have gold coming in, but very little gold going out. With that said, let's talk about the pros of GDKP. When you go to a GDKP raid, you're coming away with something. You're coming away with loot or gold. And if you go to an SR raid or something, you might get your world buffs, your consumes, all that stuff. And you're investing time. Maybe you're in the raid for 2 hours or so. And you come away with nothing. And the next week, maybe you come away with nothing. You might get tired of that. But in GDKP, at least you get some gold. You get something. Something tangible. And what if you have all the items you need and you don't need any loot? Well, then you're just getting paid to play, essentially. And oftentimes, if you do more damage, or if you're a tank, you're probably going to get some extra gold. If you're a carry, you make the runs go smooth. This keeps players going to the old raids, and they get paid to pump. Sometimes you join the raid, and everything you want drops, and you buy it. You are able to fast track your gear. Fast track your character in a GDKP if you have the gold. That can be a rush, although it can be a bit of a short-lived rush. In one raid or 2 raids, you could have a almost fully geared character, and then it's like, well, now what do I do? Do I boost another character and then go GDKP on this other character and repeat the cycle? It's a candle that burns really fast. Another pro of GDKP is it does allow people to have a flexible schedule. I have a lot more cons than I do pros. Let me know if there are pros that I've missed. I've considered both sides. I play both sides. I'm not like a huge fan of GDKP, but I do attend them, mostly to survive. GDKP usually promotes gold buying. If you want to afford those giant pieces of loot, you need to be able to afford them. And if someone else is buying gold, you have no shot of getting that loot. So you need to buy gold too, or go to a different type of raid. Sure, you can attend a GDKP, attend another one, and maybe in a week or 2 you've acquired enough gold, you can, spend that gold on that item. or you can farm out of raid and sell what you farm to get more gold to gear your character. You can. But like I said, GDKP promotes gold buying. Gold buying promotes botting. Botting just pumps so much gold into the economy. That causes the economy to get messed up. It's the botting. The bots are farming raw gold. Some bots farm materials, and things like major mana potions become very cheap because they get them from Dire Maul, but it's all the raw gold that is just going. That's my pumping noise. It gets pumped into the economy, and that 8 gold mongoose becomes a 12 gold, becomes a 20 gold, becomes a 40 gold mongoose. It's crazy. We have bots that were farming so many crow blades that you could buy an epic one-hand sword for less or the same price as a mongoose. So to be clear, it is botting that creates the inflation, not the GDKP. The GDKP is just like part of the issue. It's where the gold from the botting gets spent for the most part. Now imagine if there was no botting, GDKP would still exist. When Era was young and the first GDKP happened, Tier 2 was going for like 250 gold. A Rejuve gem went for 1800, super cheap. Tier 3 tokens were going for a couple thousand. The first Kiss of the Spider went for 40,000 gold. Wild. Now Kiss of the Spider goes for 2, 3, 400,000 gold plus, because there's just more gold. So if there was not all this gold getting added to the economy, GDKPs wouldn't have these crazy payouts. Everything would be more relative. It's kind of like the housing market. I saw this video the other day where the price is just like gone up so much, and the price went up way more than what you make this much money, the house price is here. They used to be the same, right? So it's the same. Inflation happens in WoW as well. The allure of gold makes people leave non-GDKP guilds. So let's say someone they can't afford to raid anymore, or maybe there's drama or falling out. They're like, you know what, I just don't want to play with you guys anymore. And then they're like, ooh, I've been paying to raid with you guys and I can't afford it. Now I can get paid and go raid with these guys, and I can actually afford to raid because I'm broke. So sometimes people, I get comments on YouTube, they say I had to quit. I couldn't even afford to raid. I couldn't afford to play the game. That's not good. That's not fun. Another reason people go to GDKPs and therefore quit their guild, which could be seen as a con, guilds, legitimate guilds who are just trying to do an SR run, or whatever the case may be. If a paladin wants ret gear and the guild's like, we need to prioritize getting our warriors it first. We can get it for you eventually, but we need to prioritize gearing, these warriors, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, no, I don't want to wait. Or we say, we need to give the mage the Atiesh. And the priest says, no, I want Atiesh now. I'm going to go GDKP. Then you lose a player because they want that instant gratification. And I get it. And so that paladin might say, and go to a GDKP and make the warriors there cry when they buy the chromies. Another con to GDKP, or a reason why people don't like it, is they show up to the raid, but they can't get loot because they can't afford it. If every time one of those items they want drops and then there's a swiper in the raid, they're like, well, crap, man. I mean, I have a decent amount of gold, but holy shit, they just They have deep pockets. They are a whale. And so they say, I don't like GDKP. I'm going to go make a new guild. I'm going to join a non-GDKP guild. So I know that was a lot of cons. We can see why Blizz might want to remove GDKPs from the equation. I try to come at this conversation from a very neutral party. I've done both. I do both. I run my own GDKPs because, not unlike the Ret Pally who says, F this, I want all the warrior gear. Classic Era is forever. And I want Thunder Fury on my rogue and my paladin because why not? And so I made my own runs, and now I have a binding on one character, a different binding on the other character, and crossing my fingers, we get those bindings someday soon here. Get the completed half. One could say that due to the GDKPs, there's not a lot of player allegiance to a guild. They just go to GDKPs. And on Whitemane, I was chatting with some friends. We have like 9 main guilds on Whitemane. And there's a lot more people than 9 main guilds. They're in random guilds, and they do GDKPs. And now this video is long enough, so I won't really get into this whole other conversation we could have, but I'll just quickly mention it. Some people say that if the ban of GDKPs is successful on SOD and it comes to Era, would it kill Era? I don't think it would. Now, I think it would hopefully be a good thing, and players would be able to form actual guilds. Some people say no, that wouldn't happen. They would just quit. I personally don't think so, but your guess is as good as mine. GDKP is very deeply seated on Era at this point, and SOD is very young, so I think they can make that change. The first couple BFD GDKPs that came out, they took some time for that to take traction because people don't even really have that much gold. And since that gear gets replaced so quickly, people, yes, they are buying gear in those GDKPs, but that gear is going to get replaced so fast. And so I don't think GDKP until phase, the level 60 phase was going to be even that big, unless I'm crazy. Like, who wants to buy a bunch of gear and then have it get replaced in 6 weeks? Well, I guess when people are spending $3,000 on a Gressel, yeah, people will do that. What am I talking about? Anyways, I know this video is a bit long. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Thanks for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, please comment and subscribe, and I would love to chat with you. I'm streaming now most evenings on YouTube Live here right on this channel, so pop in and say hello. Dwarf Lord out.